What a broadcast for you today. After the debate, Trump tripped something off. It's actually cited in what I'm about to cover for you. They now have a list of horribles. The White House preparing for a lockdown, preparing for what they're calling a national special security event. You know what that means? As this information has just been thrust forward, man, what a story and what it could mean to the future of this great republic of the United States of America. We'll be back in just 1 minute. Big story, big title today. Before we get there, if you haven't subscribed to Lisa's channel yet, can you please make sure you do? If you think you are, double check. If you can subscribe to mine, she'll put a link above. Means the world to both of us. Lisa is doing a very special exclusive broadcast at restrictedrepublic.com today, the platform she created with me to give you all the news, no commercials, no interruptions, no sponsors, and that is at restrictedrepublic.com. We always get the comments, but there's commercials and interruptions. Well, this isn't restrictedrepublic.com. That's a platform we created. Everything is referenced. Everything is researched. And there's exclusive content you can only get there right now. Use discount code INDEPENDENCE at monthly checkout. Discount code INDEPENDENCE, $4 a month for 2 years, plus 14 days for free. Best part of it, you can cancel anytime. But once you're there, you'll see all the news we provide on all our platforms under one roof. That is restrictedrepublic.com. Please get there for us today to show your support and a belief in everything we're doing here. But now let's get back to this broadcast. Before we get started, I want to cover this story. Special Speaker Mike Johnson yanks government funding bill amid GOP defections. No shocker there, huh? Why was it shelved? Weren't we supposed to get the SAVE Act? Didn't Trump want the SAVE Act? Pressure mounts over SAVE Act, proof of citizenship voting bill. What is it? Very simply, it was looking for citizenship is already a requirement to vote. However, we don't always have the best way to prove it. The SAVE Act was going to reinforce the ways we can prove citizenship. Voter ID, American Voter Eligibility Act, safeguard the American Voter Eligibility Act. This was big for Trump. This was to improve voter list accuracy amongst a litany of other elements just to secure our elections. It was a fairly easy request. House GOP leaders weigh options as Trump pushes for a government shutdown fight. It was so important, he states this: if Republicans in the House and Senate don't get absolute assurances on election security, they should in no way, shape, or form go forward with a continuing resolution. That is what's going to fund government to stay open. Trump basically states, shut it down if you can't get this through. So he states, don't let it happen, close it down. But what happens? Speaker Mike Johnson yanks the vote for now. We'll see how much pressure he gets back from Trump. Not shocked by this at all. Speaker Johnson has already shown his true colors multiple times, but that is not the headline story. Coming off the debate, Trump stokes suspicions about assassination attempt, raises fear of more violence. One of the headlines we read. Trump is drowning in the misinformation swamp he helped create. That on CNN. This on MSNBC. Trump gets big mad at the debate, just like Harris planned. I'll tell you how this all funnels into the main story. HuffPost, debacle in front of all of America. GOP exasperation. Delusional Don declares victory, rejects rematch. Can you believe these titles? 2 months before the 2024 vote, Trump reprises 2020 election lies that led to January 6. Now we're getting closer to the truth in headlines. Trump's rage was on full display during the debate. So what happens? Washington Post puts out this article. Fed increases security for January 6 in effort to prevent Capitol attack repeat for January 6th of 2025. Let me read the details because they've identified several things in this article that should be a concern to both sides of the aisle. The Department of Homeland Security has designated the next electoral count scheduled for January 6th of 2025 a national special security event. Do you know what that means? We're going to find out here in a minute. Given the once routine post-election gathering the same level of security according to presidential inaugurations and political conventions, the Secret Service, is going to be involved, and we're to trust that, which will take over security for the count, confirmed. The Secret Service, who failed at the Trump rally, allowed Donald J. Trump to get shot, is going to take over the security of this national special security event. Okay, we'll continue to go. The federal government will dramatically increase security protections for the joint session of Congress to prevent a repeat of January 6th, 2021. What the heck do they know that we don't? What's happening here? Is this truly all in reaction to the last event that occurred? Or did they predict something different? But Congress, which is in the midst of a fierce battle over government funding, must act to ensure the Secret Service, again, has enough money to secure the National Special Security Event, or in this case, events, and protect Trump, which they already didn't do. More importantly, and probably closer to the truth, and protect Vice President Kamala Harris. This is gonna raise a few red flags with you here. The fact that Trump declined during his debate, I told you he triggered it, declined during his debate with Vice President Kamala Harris to express a single regret about his actions on January 6th, 2021, has continued to stoke baseless claims, makes the period after November's election even harder to predict. But don't worry, they don't have to predict because they're securing it down. And who's speaking about it? Jamie Raskin. And when Jamie Raskin speaks, all my red flags go up. Last time we were steeped in potential parliamentary maneuvers around the rejection of the Electoral College votes in the attempt to trigger a contingent election in the House. So we're ready for those parliamentary maneuvers. But we are not ready to talk about what would happen if protests outside turned violent and then entered the Capitol and overran the chamber. So we took care of our procedures to make sure nobody can interfere in them. But we haven't quite dealt with the contingent that doesn't exist yet. However, you've identified them by calling them several names within this document, within this article. So we are now trying to prepare for every conceivable contingency we can think of. They're preparing to lock down not only the White House, but the Capitol and every single congressional member in preparation for what? So if Donald Trump's elected, are they expecting major protests, the likes of J6? That's what they're saying here. If Kamala Harris gets elected, are they expecting another J6? That's what they're saying here. A team under Representative Joseph Morell of New York, the ranking Democrat on the committee of the House Administration, is handling the research and analysis behind the list of horribles, quote unquote. List of horribles. What do you mean by that, and who's on that list? Wonder if it's Democrats or Republicans, maybe independents. I think I know the answer. I think you do too. As one person involved with the effort called the scenarios that could derail the electoral certification. A broader group of people with congressional, political, and legal expertise initially gathered for a big meeting, hush-hush, discuss confidential planning. Nobody's talking about this until now. It's been done in secret, behind the shadows, behind the curtain, as always. The meeting and group sessions are confidential, but Ian Basson, the co-founder and executive director of Protect Democracy, acknowledged the work of the group in a statement to the Post, and we now have it. The executive team weighs in also. The executive team of the United States Capitol Police, none other than Thomas Manger, to be more specific. The Capitol Police now have 2,200 sworn officers, 250 more than 4 years ago, he said, and plans are in place to mobilize thousands of officers from the region and elsewhere to help if needed. We are better equipped, better trained, and have a better operational plan than we did on January 6th. A lot of prep going into this. A lot of prep going into this. A lot of planning. But have you heard a word until now? I guarantee you the majority of you have not. Unlike 4 years ago, he states, when debates raged over bureaucratic delays and mobilizing the National Guard, Manger now has the authority to make the request himself without going through any more cumbersome process. They've changed everything. The entire security apparatus has been changed. After the election, he said, we'll get a clearer picture of what we might expect on January 6th. Well, it appears you already are kind of guessing at what to expect, because you are focused on intelligence. You are focused on these, what did you call them again? Let me go back one screen. This list of horribles that they're calling it. It appears they have a much deeper plan than they're admitting to. So remember when I said they knew something that they aren't completely telling you, or at least they are claiming to know something they're not completely telling you? Menger said he has made intelligence a top priority as threats to members of Congress rise at an alarming rate. An agency that fielded fewer than 4,000 threats in 2017 now is up to 9,600 in 2023, and according to them, rising more. Those include direct threats and concerning statements, quote unquote. Intelligence officers are hearing the same chatter that every other person in the intelligence community is picking up. Already, huh? Extremists on the right and left, as they so state, are talking about threats, talking about civil war, and how they're going to react if they don't go the way they wanted it to go. But don't worry, because in secret, they've been planning not only securing the parliamentary procedure of the electoral process, but also securing the White House and the Capitol, additional resources, additional intelligence, list of horribles for this national special security event that no one has talked about until now, all because of this man, what he represents, and the people who believe in him. And they will continue to use the same narrative, the same event, to trigger what we're watching now and we warned of. Because remember how many times they said it will never happen again. Now we just really need to understand what they mean by that. And it appears they're already taking measures to prevent it. Important story to Lisa, important story to me. We wanted to bring it to you today because no one is talking about it. We love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.